Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Leadership Purpose with Dr. Robin podcast. I'm so glad you're here and you're listening to the podcast. I say it all the time and I will continue to say it. I really appreciate you for listening in. And because you've been such faithful listeners, you helped us get ranked in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, according to Listen Notes. So thank you for doing that. And if you would help us keep it going, rate and review the podcast. Really, really, that would mean a lot to us and help us keep going. All right. And I'm looking forward to today's conversation. I am talking with Uma Subramania, and she is a certified executive leadership coach, trainer, speaker, and accomplished tech industry veteran, including a 20-year tenure at Microsoft. And she is passionate about empowering leaders. She's the founder and CEO of Limitless Leaders, which is a global brand that helps mid career tech professionals. And she's on a mission to build a community of empowered, sought after leaders in tech. And she's deeply committed to inspiring others to live with purpose and intention, which, of course, I especially appreciate. And she says outside of work, she's a proud mom of two teenagers and a beloved dog. Welcome, Uma.
Thanks a lot. One correction, just 2 weeks ago, we got two dogs. We got a second puppy.
Now it's two and two,
Yes, now it's two and two.
two
Two
children
boys,
and
two
two
girls.
dogs.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on
Thank you so much.
your new
Yeah,
addition
thanks.
to your family.
Thank you. And thanks, Robin, for having me. It's an honor to be here.
It's a delight to have you. I can't wait to get into those conversations. Now, you heard me read your introduction, but why don't you tell us in your own words two things? Well, we know one thing about you. You have a new member of your family, but tell us something else about you and then about the work you do.
Something about something else about me. I'm an avid reader. So if you saw me when I was 5 years old, you would have seen me with a book in hand. So that's me. And even if you, let's say you're in LA, I'm in Washington State. If I were driving and doing a road trip to LA and you saw me in a car right next to you, you will see my husband driving and me with a stack of books on my lap. So that's how crazy I am with books. I love books. That's been a huge journey for me to um, just go through, through the books and mentors and all that. So,
Yeah, I love that you said not just one book, you would have a stack of books.
oh yes, it's usually. I mean, my husband gets mad at me, but yes, it's usually like 3 to 5 books, or it used to be even more, but now it's like usually three.
And it stayed with you from all the time when you were very young till you were a little girl until now, that reading. Yeah, that's wonderful to have a passion like that.
Yeah.
All right, so now tell us about the work you do.
Yeah. So um, at we already, like you shared that, Robin, that I was at Microsoft for 20 years. And then I joined a tech startup, was there for almost a year. And then now what I do is coach tech professionals become sought after leaders so they can thrive in their career, rise in leadership, and realize their limitless potential without burnout, without hustle, without playing politics. And I help them really navigate everything that's happening in the tech world today with modern leadership skills that's really needed to thrive.
Sounds like important work, and of course, I would think that, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right, so are they emerging leaders? I mean, like, or are they people who are already in leadership who want to develop further?
So mostly experienced leaders. So I would say 15 to 18 to 20 years of work experience is the people that I usually work with. And they are trying to get to like a VP position. So that's really my target audience. So they're not already usually in executive positions, but they would like to get there. Um,
Oh, I see. They're in some form of leadership, but not executive level leadership.
correct, correct.
I
Yeah.
see.
They
I
could
see.
be, very experienced individual contributors managing large strategic projects, as well as managers having people, but they're not yet in that executive ring.
I see. And do you teach leadership skills, like particular leadership skills? Because I know you said you're the CEO of Limitless Leaders, so I'm guessing there's a particular type of skill that you're teaching.
Yes. So I mainly have four pillars that I have realized, in the last few years that I've started coaching, that today's aspiring and emerging leaders need. One is how to be strategic, how to create strategic impact without burnout. And so that is one pillar that we go deep on. The second pillar is really honing communication and speaking skills and executive presence. The third area is building authority and personal brand, because today we need to stand out and personal brand is becoming more and more important. And last but not the least, relationship mastery. So, how do you build powerful allies and network and build relationships so you can thrive at work? So, those are the four areas that I really help with. Um,
Sounds like you cover everything. I mean, if they have all those, then they have everything they need.
Oh, yes. I mean, it's a very comprehensive type of program that I've created. And yes, it's seeming to work. And we are seeing a lot of success stories and wins with my clients
Good.
already.
That's wonderful. Now, how did you come to this work?
So, as I said, I started at Microsoft and was there for 20 years, had a blast, left Microsoft and joined a tech startup to head developer community there. And again, had a blast, but long story short, it ended abruptly. And I ended up resigning after the CEO insulted me in a meeting. And then 3 weeks after my last day at work, I was walking my dog, Mia, the first dog that we have. And just the entire my career life, just came and flashed in front of me. And I realized that I've always been limitless. No one's really been able to hold me back. Nothing's been able to hold me back. If I set my mind to achieve something, I would go achieve it. And so that's when the word limitless came to me, just flashed in front of me and said, I'm limitless. And just felt so much bliss and joy just when I realized that. And then the next thought that came to me was, well, wait a sec, like if I'm limitless, so is everyone else, because I really didn't come with any special privilege or, um, you know, background or anything like that. So I've realized if I feel limitless, everyone else is limitless. But I do know that not everyone knows that. And so that was the moment there was a deeper purpose that I discovered. And I realized, okay, I'm going to use my voice and my energy and my time now to help others realize their limitless potential in leadership. So no matter what happens, they can go achieve their goals, and whatever their definition of leadership goals might be, they can go achieve them and thrive them. So literally came up with the name Limitless Leaders. In that walk, I came back. My husband was working from home. It was during COVID. And I told him that I'm starting Limitless Leaders, and I haven't stopped since.
It's amazing. All right. So, okay. So that was that moment. Was there anything in the back of your mind at any time before then that somehow you might teach others, not just particularly limitless, but that you would just do something on your own, separate from
Never. In fact, no, Robin. In fact, I have a very negative perspective on starting my own business because my father had a series of failed businesses. I grew up with that. So for me, the 9 to 5 job, having a stable 9 to 5 job has been the thing. I would never ever think of starting something. It's just that when this moment happened, I feel like all the inner work, all the work that I've done, all the reading, all the coaching, mentoring that I have achieved, I think I was ready for that moment at that time. And I
wow.
didn't have any hesitation, no doubt, like never, like not even a single moment of doubt not a moment of doubt when I wanted to resign as well. I resigned after the meeting in which I, was insulted. There was not a single ounce of hesitation or doubt. I decided I knew my self-worth and I said I'm going to resign. And then same thing with when I decided to start Limitless Leaders, zero hesitation. I came back, said I will start it, and then I'm going strong still.
About how much time between the time you resigned and you received that sort of aha moment while you were walking your dog?
So it was July 8th when I resigned the meeting, and then I resigned. And then the CEO apologized. And then, long story short, he wanted me to at least stay for a month to help with the transition. I had a huge team. I had 5 teams, 50 people under me. And so I stayed for a month, and August 5th was my last day. So August 5th, last day, I I had already told my husband when I resigned that I'm going to take 6 months and figure out what I want to do next. And I knew that when all this happened, because I had poured myself into everything, like at Microsoft, I was doing fantastic. At this company, I was doing fantastic. I was even promoted at this startup in 5 months to senior director. And I knew that this couldn't be happening like this. It couldn't be ending like this. So if this is happening, it must be because there's something bigger and better waiting for me. Maybe I'm ready for something and I just don't know what it is. And I knew that I was meant to do something bigger in that moment. This is not something I had thought of before, but just in that moment, that those were the thoughts that came. And so every day after August 5th, literally, I would get ready just as if I'm going to work, and I would sit on my computer and just be thinking, okay, what could I do? Like, what is the next thing I want to do? And this walk was 3 weeks into it. So it was in August of 2022. And within 3 weeks, I came up with the idea. So was able to then steer everything after that towards the company.
That's amazing. That's
Thank
absolutely
you.
amazing. And what you thought might take 6 months, and I'm saying this for people who might be having a similar experience right now, sometimes you just don't know. We always think it's going to take long. It has to take a long time, no matter what the it is. We tend to think it's going to take a long time. But you had focus and intention and just putting yourself there in 3 weeks, and there it was. And then you took action immediately.
Yeah, I'm grateful that's how it worked out. Like, I don't know if that is really how it worked out, but I'm glad that was the journey I'm
Yeah,
going through.
that's amazing. All right, so now was there anything you talked about earlier about your love of reading? Was there anything that you see from little Uma, except for separate from reading, anything in little Uma that's reflected in what you do today?
I think the I think that little Uma did have the drive to make a difference, to serve others. And I see that still carrying through. When I joined Microsoft, my role, I joined in a very junior role, in a very simple kind of function and role, not something, doing great things, but I attached meaning to it from day one. And so I saw it as serving developers. My role was, our customers were developers, and my role was to help developers building on top of Microsoft platform, building applications. And so when I wrote content, when I wrote code samples, I thought of each and every piece that I wrote, helping and impacting those developers. And with every year of growth, and as I grew in my career, I did bigger and bolder things, and everything attached that kind of meanings and sense of purpose. So that really helped. I think that's been a pattern even at the tech startup. The same thing. We launched a developer community, and I saw that as impacting developers all over the world. So all of that kind of, I think it's been the same journey that I'm going through from when I was little. It's just that the purpose and the impact is just becoming bigger and bigger. It's growing in the positive direction. So that's really amazing to see.
It is amazing. All right. So now you're helping leaders. And when you were early in your career, you were helping developers. Who did you, was there anybody around you when you were little, Uma, that you were helping that you're aware of?
Oh, I don't think so. I think with the little Uma, I don't think I think was selfish and probably just focused on herself. Not really sure if I was helping when I was little,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
was absorbing and learning, I
Ah,
guess.
yeah. You were a learner.
Yes, totally. Yes, learner till today. But I think when I was younger, definitely was learning. And then I think connected that learning to serving.
Yeah.
And that's the journey that I think it's continuing right now.
I love that thread, learning and serving. Yes. Yeah. All right. So, uh, that was sort of like your career journey. We brought you from where you were all the way up to where you are now. All right. So now that you're here and you're following your, what your life has been leading you to, do you feel like you have purpose in your life?
Oh, 100%. Definitely. I'm coaching clients. There was this one client that came to me, was so frustrated with the current, work situation. And I see them like when they come, they're, completely drained out. Like you can see, or even though we are only meeting on Zoom, you can see their state of mind and how they're feeling. And then just a couple of weeks later, I see them like radiating and, with like glowing and, talking with excitement. They're already seeing wins. They're just a lot of good things starting to happen at work and, with their relationships at work, with management, with leadership, with peers, getting, them seeing newer opportunities, seizing them. It's just amazing. So when I see that, it's just makes my day as well. And I always give my phone number to my clients and tell them to text me if they have wins. And many of my clients will text me during the week if they, went and did a presentation and it was very well received, things like that. And when I see that, it just makes my day. And I do think that my work, however small, like even when, day one I started Microsoft to today, I've been able to always believe that my work, has impact, and I'm able to see that and has really given me joy and happiness and satisfaction.
Yes. It sounds like impact is very important to you. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
What would you say was the biggest challenge in your pursuit throughout your career? It sounds like you've done a lot of sort of personal development and growth, but what was a struggle or a frustration or a challenge in the pursuit of really kind of coming into alignment with your purpose?
I think it would be this constant need for, this have needing for sense of achievement. So I find purpose in what I do, but I think I've also, because I find so much joy and purpose in everything that I do, I also end up, caring too much and overcommitting and doing too much. And I have found myself not really burning out, but finding myself in situations where I'm overcommitted, and overdoing things. And I really like it because I'm getting that sense of achievement and purpose and meaning, but something suffers. Sometimes it's my health, sometimes it's some relationships that are really important to me. So definitely that's been, and mostly for me, it's been the health. Whenever I overdo it, I get a warning from the health gods. So and thankfully nothing serious or major, but definitely, enough serious enough to make me pause and realize, okay, maybe I'm running too fast, or, running behind some purpose that's meaningful, but still, maybe I need to slow down a little bit and have some boundaries. And so that has happened repeatedly for me now a few times. And I've learned every single time that happened, I've recalibrated and slowed down and set boundaries. But it's been a journey, to be honest, and I feel like I've come a long way now. Like, touchwood, at this moment I feel like I have good balance and good boundaries, healthy boundaries, and I'm very self-aware as well. And I know when I'm if I'm overdoing it, I know how to stop. But that's been my challenge, I would think.
Makes sense too, especially if you really enjoy what you're doing. The tendency is to want to do more and more. But I agree, the body has a way of reminding us when we need to sort of get back in alignment. Yeah, yeah, the body is very clear. And I'm glad
Yes.
that you now have a way to, kind of keep it in check. Yeah. And I know for everybody, it always, whatever the thing is, might find its way back to us. But generally speaking, we know how to, in your case, you know how to keep it in check. So that's wonderful. All right. So now that you know that, let's talk to the woman who's listening right now. And I'll tell you who she is. She's a high achieving woman. And this is my definition, which I'm believing you will resonate with. She's high achieving. And by that, what I mean is she's ambitious
Mhm.
and she's responsible. People can
Mhm.
count on her. No matter where she is or what she's doing, people can count on her. She's good at a few things. And people come to her in her professional life for advice, want to hear her thoughts, whether it's related to her role, her position, or anything. She's the one that they come to. And in her, outside of her profession, in the home or community or neighborhood, if anything is going on, she's the one that people come to sort of like to hear her thoughts and her advice. So this is who I mean by the high achieving woman.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it sounds like you resonate with that.
Definitely. And I don't know how many people come to me for advice, but I definitely resonate with, you know, many of us trying to do a lot, like
Yes.
on many fronts and
Yeah.
wearing too many hats.
So that's the one we're speaking to. And she's feeling she has a success, but she's
Mhm.
unfulfilled. Like, I achieved all this, I
Mhm.
checked the boxes, I got the promotions, and she's asking, either it's quietly in the back of her mind, whispering, or for some, it could be shouting, is this all there is? And she's looking for more meaning and more impact and more purpose and fulfillment in her work. So she's the one we're talking to right now. So what's something from your any part of your life, personal or professional, that you could leave her with as just something to think about that might help her where she is today?
I think I would like to tell her that her journey is unique, and the way purpose and meaning looks like in her life might be different from the other women that she's probably listening to on podcasts and seeing on other channels. So just trusting her journey and trying to find meaning and purpose in just the day-to-day flow of life, and being open to opportunities, being open to being courageous to when she sees those opportunities, being able to seize those and follow up with those. I think that would be what I would suggest. I didn't go trying to find a big purpose or anything. Like, my journey was, it just unfolded by just me showing up to whatever was in front of me, my job, my different things I did, and then just choosing to serve intentionally. And so that would be my advice is, don't look at other people and maybe feel like, oh, they have achieved this and maybe I haven't achieved this, or their purpose look like somebody's impacting thousands of people, thinking that that is what I have to do to feel um, that sense of meaning and purpose. Instead, just see what is in front of you, because your journey, your meaning and purpose might look very different.
I mean, couldn't say it any better than that.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. All right, you've been so generous with your time. But before we go and before you tell people how they can get in touch with you, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you want to share? Or is anything pop in your mind, like one more thing? If not, it's okay, but I want to give you the opportunity in case I didn't ask you.
I think I would just say that just believe in yourself, and each and every one of us has limitless potential. We don't need anything. We don't need fancy titles. We don't need this or that. Like wherever we are, we can lead from the current place and really achieve the things that we want to achieve. So just be open to, just look, I mean, just have your eyes open and see what is possible. Don't limit yourself, get help. And that is another advice I always give, is get help. Like I don't try to do things on my own. Like I'm very good at asking for help if I'm doing something new. So, or something challenging. So that is another thing I would say is don't try to do it alone. I see many women trying to do things alone and thinking they have to, do it, they have to, do the hard way. Get help, and yeah, the life is limitless, and you are limitless. That's what I would say.
Yes, you are limitless. All right, Uma, this has been so insightful, sharing your wisdom that you gleaned over the years. Now, what if they want to hear, like, I want to find out how I can learn more, and how can they be in touch with you?
LinkedIn would be the best place. I'm usually on LinkedIn, very active. So find me, Uma Subramanian, on LinkedIn. And we also have a website, thelimitlessleaders.com. You can also book a call with me from there. So happy to have a conversation with anyone that's interested.
Okay, that sounds great. And is it the Limitless Leaders or just
Yes.
Limitless? The
Yeah, yeah.
Limitless.
I couldn't get the domain, so I had to get the
Okay.
Limitless Leaders.
Okay, I want to make sure they can find it. So the Limitless Leaders and also on LinkedIn. All right, Uma, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your grace and your beautiful presence with us here today.
Thank you so much. It was really my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Okay, everyone, I'd love to hear your response to the episode. Let me know something that kind of stuck out in your mind. And you can find me on all the social media channels, but I spend most of my time on LinkedIn. And you can reach me at Robin L. Owens, PhD, at Robin L. Owens, PhD. And until next time, this is Dr. Robin.